Can Chelsea go on to win the Club World Cup for the second time after victory in 2022? It's a new format. But can Chelsea do it? Can Chelsea prove a lot of people wrong, including myself and the fan base, that we can win the Club World Cup this summer? Welcome back to From the Shed End. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please make sure you subscribe. You give your thoughts in the comments as well. Don't forget to like this video before you leave. And if you haven't done so already, myself, Dharmesh and Theo, we did our fantasy Chelsea drafts last week. So the video is here. Make sure you check that video after this one and give us your thoughts as well. But the Club World Cup is here. It is going to be here this year. June 13th, I believe, June 15th, I believe the tournament kicks off. July 13th is the final. Now, it is different to the old format. If you think back to, it was a 7-team tournament some time ago. They've redesigned the format. There's now 32 teams that are going to be competing in a global showdown for the Club World Cup. It is going to be held in the United States of America. I think I read somewhere they're using smaller pitches. I can't remember if I've made that up, or I'm sure they're using very small pitches for the Club World Cup. I can't remember for what reason or for why. But there is going to be obviously 32 teams competing now as opposed to the 7. The Mercedes-Benz Stadium, I think, is going to be one of them, which is in Atlanta. You'll have the Rose Bowl in LA. And also MetLife Stadium, New Jersey, which is where the final will be held. Now, why is it big? The month-long Summer Spectacular will crown the world's best club, and we are in the mix for that. Now, in terms of how did we get here? Now, if you think back to how we earned our spot by winning the 2021 Champions League, beating Manchester City in Porto, that gave us our opportunity into competing for the Club World Cup. And of course, the past glory that we, as I said before, we've lifted the trophy, the Club World Cup in 2022, defeating Palmeiras 2-1 in extra time. And now we have another opportunity to do it again. I'm looking forward to this. I'll be honest. I think based on how the season's gone for us so far, it hasn't been great. We know that, on and off the field. If we can get top 4, this is a big ask as well. If we can get top 4 and we win the Club World Cup, I'm going to be honest, I think we might have salvaged something out of the season, because the Club World Cup, the format has changed. It's going to be a lot more difficult with more teams in there. There's going to be some really tricky teams as well. And even like in the 2022 tournament, there's going to be teams in there that we might think we can just go and steamroll over and beat them. But if you even think back to the semi-final, which I think we played Al Hilal, if I remember correctly, and also Palmeiras in the final, weren't easy games. If you remember as well, I think Mendy missed the semi-final, but came back for the final. I think if my memory serves me right. So we have to take this tournament seriously. We really do. Now, there's going to be 8 groups of 4. Consisting of the 32 teams. Each team plays 3 group stage matches, with the top 2 advancing to the knockout rounds. The round of 16, the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, and of course the final. There will be no third place game this time. So if we don't get to the final, that's it. We're done. We go home. Well, the players go to Mykonos and Dubai and all these other fancy places they like to go. But for Chelsea, we're done. We go home. We have to get to the final. We have to get to the final. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. It is going to be tough, really tough. But we also have to think about this. There was $1 billion. Yes, you heard right. $1 billion worth of prize money up for grabs. Now, that will definitely bring up the ears of Todd Bowley, Egbali, Chelsea as a football club, because that's what we like to do. We like to churn money and get money into the club. And of course, PSR, it will help with all those sort of things. So $1 billion worth of pot prize money to be claimed. If that's not a bigger reason to try and get some players into the tournament. I wonder how that works actually in terms of if we sign players, because the transfer window, I think theoretically will have opened at that point. If it has opened, can the players that we sign play for us? Now, maybe that's why we're bringing in a couple of these youngsters. Maybe that's why we want to bring back Andre Santos and others. Are they eligible? Can they play? If they can, then I think that's good. I think that's great, actually, because we're going to need a big squad. We're going to have some depth in the squad. We can't go over there with a very young squad. We have to, the whole squad is young, but we can't go with just the Josh Ashimpongs and Tariq Georges. We're going to have to go and get Andre Santos from Strasbourg and hope he can compete and play in that tournament. We're going to need Reece James back fully fit. That's why it's very crucial. I think he finishes the season on the high, very strong. I'd love us to address the goalkeeper situation by then. Again, I don't know when the transfer window opens, but we're going to have to do something in the summer. And I think the Club World Cup will be a massive step mark for certain players that might need to be sold, certain players that might need to stay at the club. But the incentive is there. $1 billion of prize money. Todd Bowley's probably already spent that in his head, to be honest. But of course, there will be opportunity for fans to watch the games because all 63 games will be shown on DAZN. So that is a good thing. The time-wise, I think it'll be a bit crazy, actually. I think we'll probably have like some late evening games, some very, very late games, 1:00 starts potentially if it's in America. But yeah, all games on DAZN. There's going to be no subscription needed. So you'll be able to watch every single game. They're going to live stream the Club World Cup, which is brilliant for fans that, have had to pay Sky subscriptions, TNT, all the rest of it, Amazon Prime, DAZN coming. They look like they're going to give us a good opportunity. Now, there is a curveball. We are currently, as it stands, the draw was done. We're in Group D. The teams that we have are Flamengo, Tunis, who are Tunisia. So Flamengo, obviously we know them, South American giants. Yeah, I think we played them before. I think we played them in a friendly and we beat them 5-0. But they're in our group anyway. So Flamengo's in our group. Now, Club Lyon, Mexican team, I'm pretty sure they've been kicked out of the tournament. They've been kicked out of the tournament, so some other team will have to come in and play against us. I don't know the ins and outs as to why they've been kicked out, but I'm pretty sure I read on Friday that they've been removed from the Club World Cup. I think it might be to do with eligibility of a player, but I might be wrong, so don't count me on that one. But they're out of the tournament. Someone else will take their place. Then we do have a team from Tunisia. They're 4-time Champions League winners in the African Champions League. They're a North African powerhouse. So they are a team that we have to be honest about and say that I don't know much about them, but we have to take it on with a pinch of salt that they are good. We can't go into these games expecting to beat them. I don't know anything about Tunis. We know that Flamengo is a good team. We know that other groups are going to have good teams in their group as well. So I think Maresca has to take this seriously. And previous history of Maresca, when I think back to the Conference League, when we played like Astana and we played Shamrock Rovers, he didn't really take things seriously. When we played Ipswich in December and Fulham, he didn't really take those teams seriously. He almost underplayed the fact that it was just those teams. And I don't think you can do that. Some of these teams, this is their moment. This is what they live for, the Club World Cup. Now, the way that it's changed is obviously going to make it a bit more difficult for certain clubs to progress through, but we should be one of those clubs. Make it no two ways about it. We should be progressing out of that group and going into the knockout stages. We should be. There's no ifs or buts about that. Now, the Club World Cup, surprisingly, as you can see here, Theo was able to take a picture with the new formed trophy as well, new design. It was at Stamford Bridge on Friday. And yeah, Theo got to see it in the flesh. It looks like an amazing trophy. If we get top 4 and we can get the Conference League and we win the Club World Cup, I actually don't think our season has been that bad. I think we could salvage something from this season. And I think the next couple of games in the Premier League, the Conference League as well, we're going to have to make sure that we don't slip up anywhere. And when we get into that Club World Cup, whoever plays, we'll have Nicolas Jackson back hopefully by then as well. We'll have Moises Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez in the midfield, Lavia in that midfield as well, Reece James right back or in the midfield. We have to compete for the Club World Cup in my eyes. And let's be honest as well, I reckon that the club will be using a lot of AI over the next 6 or 7 weeks because I don't think they'll know much about some of these teams. And we know currently as it stands, our Our statisticians, our scouts, our sporting directors are all about AI. They love the data-driven stuff. And I can guarantee you they're probably doing that for a lot of these clubs now to understand how we need to match up against them. I'm not against it if we get to the final and we win it. But we also need to not just rely on AI in football. I think there's a whole conversation in itself that we should have a conversation about on here, to be fair. But this has to be the moment that Maresca turns things around. The next couple of games, we've got Tottenham next in the league. We've got some really tough Premier League fixtures and the Conference League to think about. But in the back of the minds, the players now have to start thinking about that Club World Cup. Because it's not that far away. We're coming up to April. There is not long to go until the Club World Cup kicks off. So I want to know your thoughts. Do Chelsea have to take the Club World Cup seriously? Can Chelsea go all the way to win the Club World Cup? Let me know what you think in the comments. Do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Let me know what you think about our upcoming fixtures as well. And as I said before, hit that Linktree link in the description for all our social accounts as well. Don't forget, we'll be back next week with more content. Enjoy the rest of the weekend and we'll be back very soon. Thanks for watching.